Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ryan Retro channel! In today's video we're going to be looking at games that the Ryan Retro community have listed as being perfect on the secret console. And as we go I will be checking the verification boxes to let you know they are indeed running beautifully. Here is a little disclaimer because throughout this video, you're going to hear me say I'm going to try a game in docked mode 1080p at the end of the video. But I ended up wanting to do that for basically every single game in this whole video, and it would have taken so long, I don't think I'd have been able to get this video out today. So when you hear me say that, I'm unfortunately not going to have time to do that, but I will get around to that later, so please subscribe and watch out for that. Okay, thank you, let's get back to the video. So let's jump into the first game today, Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX. A lot of these games today will be games I've never played before, so I'm very excited to jump into them and try them out. Right away, this is extremely cute and looks fantastic on the OLED screen. It's really popping out of the screen. Let's jump into a new game. Gut Roar. What's a gut roar? Gut Roar. I think it's time to go home. As we run around, it definitely seems to be running at a smooth 60 frames per second. I like the punch animation. His fist gets really, really big. I just push down the triggers and look what happens. We're transformed into some Sonic Mario knockoff game. This feels like one of those games you get on those cheap Chinese handhelds that have 15,000 games for $3. The sound is also very cute. And interestingly, even the sound is different. Listen to the music and the sounds. And now when we come back to the future, what a cool game. I can now shoot rings. Oh. It's very hard to hit the monsters, but they're able to hit me very easily. Some of the hits are making us fall down to around 56 frames per second, so I might list this as great rather than perfect, but it's definitely a very nice playable experience for sure. Once again, the punching is really cute. It's like he puts on a little boxing glove, or hits them with a roast chicken. This game's cute, I like it, and it does run very well. Let's move on to the next community suggested game that is listed as running perfectly. This is Celeste. I have never played this game. I've always wanted to because it looks lovely, and on this OLED screen it is gorgeous already, and I'm only in the title screen. I'm really excited to jump into Celeste for the first time. Let's watch our FPS counter and see how smooth the gameplay is. Yeah, I'm like 2 seconds in, and this is not dropping from 60 frames per second, I don't think. Oh, wow. I think this game would be a good candidate to change from handheld mode to docked mode and try it in 1080p. For all the tests on my channel, I usually use the 720p handheld mode because I think it looks beautiful as it is. I don't feel a need for extra clarity in the text or any of the textures. But because this is running so well, after we run through the other games in the list, I'm going to come back to Celeste and up this to 1080p and see how well it runs, because I think it's going to be truly perfect. This is Inscryption, a game that I've always been curious about, and I can't choose new game, I can only choose continue. Is that part of the game? Very peculiar. This game seems to be locked at 30 frames per second, so I will see if we can change that or if that's just the maximum this game runs at. This game is very dark, so I'm going to put the brightness right up and try and hold the console in a way that doesn't show my camera and doesn't show my face. So maybe around here somewhere. Play the squirrel card. Okay, wolf it is. To play a wolf, you need to sacrifice 2 different creatures. Okay, stoat. Oh, I have to play the squirrel card. The wolf costs 2. I'm trying to play the squirrel. What am I doing wrong? Have I broken it by not following commands? I'm going to restart the game. This is a very peculiar game. I did hear that the game is quite strange. I've never played it, but I heard it is quite an interesting game. I'm not sure what button I'm going to press. I'm a little bit stuck. Play the squirrel card. Squirrel. You are lacking sacrifices, and the eyes are spinning like crazy. Look at the eyes. I guess it's kind of a puzzle game? It's not just simply a card game. I have to figure out how to play the squirrel, maybe? Oh, how did I do that? I have no idea how I just did that. I'm extremely confused. I'm not sure if this game is broken and playing all the wrong cards, or if this is how the game is because it's a weird game. Oh, I didn't realize I can look at my hands. Oh, what beautiful hands I have. Ring the bell to end your turn. Your stoat stands unopposed. The number on the bottom left is the attack power, so I attack this guy. So it's a little bit like Yu-Gi-Oh! You win if you tip my side all the way down. Okay. For anybody who's played this game before, is this audio correct? Because it's making some really weird glitchy sounds. But the problem with a game like this, that is kind of made to be odd, is it's really hard to tell whether it's running properly or not. I think there's definitely a problem with the audio because it's glitching out a little bit. It's stuttering like... It's actually reminding me quite a bit of Hearthstone, the way you attack monsters and then their health goes down. You may draw from your deck or you may draw a squirrel. Oh, good old squirrel's always ready. So here we can see we have Y and X. And on my controller I have Y and X. But they're not necessarily linked correctly. Y might be Y and X might be X. Or Y might be X and X might be Y, depending on how I've got the gamepad set up. And I don't remember how I've got it set up. So we're kind of just taking a chance here. I want to draw from the deck with Y. So I'm going to choose Y, and we're going to see what happens. 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, okay. How reckless of you. It did work. But I seem to have picked up a piece of broken paper. I would love to play this broken paper. So let's play another squirrel. To play that wolf, you need to sacrifice. I don't want to play the wolf. I want to play the squirrel. Well, this game is extremely hard to control. You know what? I give up with this game. I can't control it. I'm really not enjoying this at all. Nothing works. This is infuriating. Let's move on to the next game. Inscryption did seem to be running at a very smooth 30 frames per second. There was some weird audio glitching, which I'm not sure was due to a bug or just the way the game is, but it definitely seemed to run at a smooth 30 frames per second. So I could verify that that's running very well. Next, we're going to move on to Golf Story. I have this game on my Switch, and I found it to be quite confusing, because even though it's called Golf Story, I thought it was just a simple golf game like Everybody's Golf. Let's jump into it, and I have high hopes for this one. Golf Story is a pretty fun game, and again, it looks gorgeous on this OLED screen. It's really popping out of the screen. Let's jump into some quick play, because maybe we can analyze if it's running well. That might be a quicker way to check out the frame rate and make sure it's not dipping. I've actually never played quick play before. On my Switch, I always played the story mode. So this will be fun to try. We've got our well-worn irons, our well-worn woods. Yeah, this is my first time playing like this. And I haven't played the game itself in years. So let's see how to swing. Very similar to old golf games like Everybody's Golf and Ace Golf. You have to choose one time for how far you want to hit the ball and one time for your accuracy. But there's a mole. I don't remember this. Obviously we're going for the mole. Oh, that was so close. He took the ball. So I guess the mole is like a trap. Oh, this is fun. Okay, so let's not go for the mole, even though it's so tempting. Oh, it's looking good. Oh, nearly all in. There was a little black line coming across the screen then. I don't know if you can see that. I'll try and rewind it. Oh, that was very fun and gorgeous as well. We're also going to come back to this game and try this in docked mode 1080p at the end of the video too, so stick around for that.
Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, Arcade Classics.
The announcer just said the name of this game for me, so I don't have to, but in case you didn't hear him, it's Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. From what I can tell, this is quite an old style game. It looks quite retro, perfectly fitting for the channel. Enter your age, 90. Is this your correct age? Yes. We'll go for some offline play. Oh, select game. We can go through old Marvel vs. Capcom games. Oh, this is awesome. Well, let's go. Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes. Let's give that a go. We've got some nice bezels to hide the 4:3 aspect ratio. Again, with the black Retroid Pocket 5, 4:3 looks beautiful as it blends into the screen, but with other colors you will want some bezels to make it look nice. We have a CRT effect on the screen, those scan lines kind of blurring the screen in a pleasant way. We'll go for Chun-Li and Ryu. Select mode, easy or manual. I guess we'll choose easy because we're only trying to check the frame rate. And I'm not sure what any of the buttons are. Or against Mega Man and Captain America. Oh, it's one of those games where you have to switch in and out characters. I never know what the buttons are to do that. Let's see how we switch character. Oh, wow. Just hit them with a spirit bomb. We've got the kick button. We have the punch button. We have a crazy kick button. Can we Hadouken? I guess Chun-Li doesn't really do a Hadouken, does she? I think with Chun-Li, you just spam the kicks really fast, right? And then she does, like, lightning kicks. Ooh! Ow! Hadouken! Okay, the Hadoukens work well. Oh, I was going to try a Shoryuken, but I didn't have time. That was great! Let's jump into one of the other games that are within this game. Marquee Card. Or this is kind of like a cheat sheet for the buttons, like you used to get when you buy the game, a little instruction manual. That's so cool. This is very nostalgic. I'm going to quit this game and jump into one of the other Marvel games. We also have the English and the Japanese versions. Let's try X-Men vs Street Fighter. This is pure nostalgia in one game. This is really cool. I'll play as Dal Sim, the guy with the stretchy arms and legs. And who's my partner? My partner is Rogue. We're against another Rogue and Chun-Li. Okay, how do I make my stretchy arms? Time for stretchy arms. Stop hitting me, I want to see my stretchy body. Look at that stretch. Oh, this is broken. How do you fight against this? She can't get near me. Oh no, she's breached my defense. Oh. Ooh. Oh, wow. Oh, this is overpowered. Look at this. The double punch. What can you do against this? I'm winning. This game's amazing. And once again, I'll add this to the list of 1080p docked games to put at the end of the video. The next game we have today that's listed as perfect on the community spreadsheet is The Messenger. Let's jump into a new game. Once again, it has a nice retro aesthetic. I'm pretty sure it's going to run very well. Looks like we have another retro style platforming game. This time we seem to be a ninja. That's always fun. We can jump, we can spin, we can attack. It looks like at the moment jump and attack is all we've got, but what else do you really need? It's a beautiful setting with the sunset in the background. It looks gorgeous. I'm going to try to zoom into the screen so you can see how beautiful this looks, because this is breathtaking. It's so simple. It's not something like Little Prince Boy Exhale of the Crazy, but just the way it looks is really lovely. We seem to have our first opponents over here. Oh, no, maybe they're our friends. Oh no, the asteroids are coming. Whoa, look at that. That is terrifying. Burn it all. Bring the humans to their knees. It reminds me of Ralph Wiggum from The Simpsons. Burn them all, Ralph. The music is so cool. I feel like I'm in an old arcade in the 90s or 2000s. Oh, it's the Western hero. That's what they call me here in Korea. I got a scroll, so I guess this is why I'm called the Messenger. You've been chosen to be the messenger, tasked with carrying the scroll across your cursed world. The game is running at a very smooth 60 frames per second and looks beautiful. I will definitely be checking the verified checkbox for this as running perfectly. Our first combat, nice and easy. This game feels very fun, and if you like games like this, running around platforming and attacking the bad guys, then I'm sure you're going to really like this one because, again, it's so dark, which on an OLED screen just looks beautiful. So this is another game that runs really well, and now let's jump into the next one. Our next game today is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and I'm really excited to play this game because I loved this series as a kid. I played these games on, I think, PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2, and they were so fun. They just gave endless enjoyment, whether you were playing single player or with your friend. I really remember the skate mode. I don't exactly remember how to play it, but I remember you had to collect the letters S-K-A-T-E, and that was really fun. So let's press A to start. Once again, it looks like a game that's locked at 30 frames per second rather than 60. For some games like that, you can sometimes get a 60 frames per second mod. I'm not sure if that's available, but for today, for testing purposes, we're going to see whether we can maintain a smooth 30 frames per second. I've now changed the emulation app I'm using from the one I usually use to the one that it states in the spreadsheet. I've also changed the driver we're using to run this game, so now everything matches the spreadsheet. So let's test the compatibility and see if it's running nicely. In order to test this game, I've switched my emulator to the one listed in the spreadsheet. I've also switched the driver I'm using to the one listed in the spreadsheet as well. And let's see if we can get a nice solid frame rate in this game. I'm going to skip the tutorial. I used to play this game all the time about 20 years ago. I'm sure I know how to do it still. So we can choose Pro Skater 1 or Pro Skater 2. Let's jump into number 2, just because it might be more graphically demanding, I'm not sure. Or it might only be referring to what kind of arena we're in, but let's just see how it goes. Collect SKATE. That's the game I used to enjoy playing with my friends back in the day. So we are getting some frame dips to around 18 frames per second during this cutscene, although I don't really care about the cutscene frame rate, but I would say that's less than perfect performance. So let's skip this cutscene and get into the action. Here we are, we're now skating around, and immediately we drop to 13 frames per second. This game is not running particularly smoothly. I'm already experiencing frame dips as I just move around this quite simple looking area. Tony Hawk's is a very, very fun game, and I'm happy that we can play it here, but I would say this experience is definitely not perfect in my experience. Maybe we can get it running better with a different driver or a different update, but for me personally, I cannot verify this as perfect. I would say it's only running at a playable state. And I think Tony Hawk's needs to go to hospital. The final game for today's video was meant to be Tunic, but it seems like I've only downloaded the update and not the game itself, so that's a bit of a fail to end the video on today. But I hope this video was useful. You can see that we're putting together this community spreadsheet, and in most cases, the games listed as perfect did run really well, but there were some instances where I couldn't really get them into a perfect state, such as the Tony Hawk game. So, with constant collaboration and working together, we can build a fantastic list of playable games, and I'm expanding the spreadsheet to cover other systems, such as the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and more. So, if you haven't already, please follow the Discord link in the description and jump into the discussion with me and others in the community, and let's work together to get the most out of our devices. Speaking of the device, if you'd like to pick up your own Retroid Pocket 5, you can follow the link to the official Retroid store in the description below, which is my affiliate link. So thank you to anybody who follows that link and uses it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you again tomorrow for another video. Bye!